Hey guys, I'm Mike and I make stuff. I wanted to get into another project, but first, we got a little bit of a problem with the garage door. Let's take a look, see what we got going on. So I'm going to try to show you as best I can here. As you can see, the metal that reinforces the top of my garage door has decided that it wants to be straight no more. Now that piece of metal in and of itself, it's called a strut. It's a garage door strut, a strut bar, strut beam. Garage door strut is what you're looking for. In my situation, I wanted to explain what's going on. Like so many of us, I lease this place. Of course, I've got a dedicated maintenance crew that is more than happy to come over here and take care of all things DIY around the house. Well, it is the weekend, so those boys are busy drinking a beer. I decided to let the property management company know I'd be more than willing to take care of it. They said absolutely not. It is entirely up to maintenance to take care of the problem. Phenomenal, I said. When should I expect them out? Well, about 4 to 5 days. Well, I'm not waiting 4 to 5 days. So I figured I can at least get this thing together so it can go up and down the way we need it to, long enough for them to show up whenever they decide to. I'll show you what I did. All right, so back again, looking at the garage door. As you can see, it has bent quite a bit. The garage door opener tried to shove it, and it wanted to zig when the garage door opener wanted to zag, and it didn't play nice with each other, and it ended up bending things up. Well, this is pretty common. If you've got this problem with your garage door, let's talk about it. It's because these garage doors, well, they span, if you have a 2-car garage, this is 16 foot across. But it's made of incredibly thin sheet metal. I believe that's 28 gauge, maybe 26 gauge, very thin sheet metal. When it's in the up position, it wants to sag in the middle. And I'm sure over the course of years and years, without me paying attention to it, I will admit, that piece of metal decided that it wanted to give out, which allowed all of this to sag at a bit of a V, which means that the garage door opener pushed it the wrong direction and made it even worse. So in the meantime, here's what I did. I took a set of clamps and I found myself a 1x2, and I just ran a few screws into the 2 remaining pieces of the broken strut and brace that thing right down in the middle. No longer any sag. We're good to go there. Now, this is important for you to take care of as soon as you see it, because first off, you'll be an idiot like me if you don't, and you'll end up with a strut that looks like this. But second of all, it won't immediately fail, but there will be signs. You'll have signs similar to this. This right here. See how that sheet metal started to bend and crimp itself? If you see any of those type things on your garage door, it's probably a good idea to take a look at these struts. See if you need to pick up another one. Here's a intact one. It's a real easy fix. All you do is just run some sheet metal screws right in, reinforce this, brace it, and you're good to go. This one looks like it needs to be repaired or replaced too. Check a look at this. Matter of fact, I can run another screw right there and we'll just take care of that. All right, guys, I figured I'd bring you into the bench real quick, show you how I'm going to fix that. As we saw, that strut was kind of messed up, but we're going to get it worked out. I went through rummaging my things because I'm a pack rat. That's what I do. I got all kinds of God knows whatever. And I end up finding this guy. This is what's called a self-tapping screw. And I'll show you why. Take a look at that tip right there. You see how that guy looks a lot like a drill bit? Well, that's because it is. The idea of this is that you don't have to drill a pilot hole in order to accommodate for driving this in. You just apply pressure. This little drill head will bore its own tap. It'll tap its own hole and then run the threads in. Now, the old way to do this is you'll need what's called a nut driver. Stick that guy in there, run this in. But I'm lazy. I'm out of shape, and I'm old. So instead, I found one that fits in the end of my drill. That's going to let me run this in there. Put another bolt or another screw right next to that one with the broken flange. We'll have this garage door in good shape, I think. All right, let's get this thing worked out. Shouldn't take a couple seconds. Y'all don't be staring at my belly. All right, as you can see, there's our bad one. Run this guy right next to it. Just like that, we're good to go. Bueno, let's see if we got enough of this sag out of this door that we can stifle off disaster until our heroes, the maintenance guys, show up. Contact! But certainly ain't perfect. You guys can see there's still light coming in at the top. That's because it's still bent a bit. But I think that looks good for the moment until they get here. So was that a definitive way to fix a garage door? Absolutely not. Am I a garage door technician, or do I know anything about them? No, but I got a little bit of common sense and can tell what's going on. Hopefully that puts us in the position where we're good to go until our rescuers show up in 4, 5, 7, 10 business days. Whatever. Now on to the video. I thought I would show you. Obviously, I happen to have the screw that I needed and a small piece of wood to fix this guy. Now I'm sure there's a ton of you that are like, but Mike, I don't have anything. It must be nice to just have screws and pieces of wood just laying around for you to do all that. Let me show you how I get some of that stuff. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the Shark Professional carpet cleaning system. It's obviously professional. It says so right on the damn tin. What has tearing a vacuum got to do with fixing a garage door? It doesn't have anything to do with fixing a garage door. It has everything to do with gathering parts. Now this unsuspecting victim was discarded by one of the neighbors. A neighbor, I might add, not to throw him under the bus. He has no idea I'm talking about him. I will simply say that we'll call him Ed. Ed is 39 years old. He came to see me because his tire was flat and, quote, he didn't know what to do. As far as I'm concerned, that's a damn shame. Hopefully this channel will do something to prevent that from being the fate that all of you share. So what am I doing with all of this anyway? What I'm looking for is parts, pieces that I could potentially repurpose elsewhere. Now there are several very proficient individuals that are really good at dismantling these old components, putting them to new use. One that I may suggest is a man named Jeremy Fielding. Very brilliant man. Love his videos, love his content. If you guys get a chance, check him out. But I watched that man start his YouTube channel tearing things up just like I'm doing right now. Washing machines, vacuum cleaners, parts. By the time it's all said and done, the man literally built himself a 5-axis CNC controlled robotic arm. So your humble beginnings will get you a long way. I'm already encountering why this is such an obnoxious scenario. The fasteners for holding this thing together are what's called security bits. Here, let me show you one. I don't know if you can see the end of that guy. But it's a 6-star like a Torx. But it has a pin in the center, preventing you from using a typical Torx bit driver to get any of the fasteners out. I wonder why they did that. No, it couldn't be planned obsolescence. We've got a motor, we've got a belt drive, we've got a pull. Salvaging and repurposing parts is a bit of an art. A lot of the time, you either don't know what to keep, so you don't keep anything, or you end up saving a ton of crap that just gets in the way, and before you know it, you look like Sanford and Son. Bonus points to you if you know who I'm talking about. A brushed DC motor, because I see some contact brushes right here. On either end, this motor freely spins. You got a gear drive right there. That will go in parts trays. We're gonna go get that belt. Just like that. Things. I like to tinker and build new machines just for fun. And I wouldn't necessarily say that I build things that I need, as much as I build things that I feel confident will let me learn something along the way. We got a pair of LED lights. Now, sometimes vacuum cleaners are having a little headlight. There we go. Very good LEDs. Some LED bulbs. That's a pretty simple circuit. I think that's something pretty easy to replace. There's a limit switch. Those are always, yeah, I can still use that. I'm gonna try a little different way to circumvent these little boogers. I got a regular flat screwdriver here. It's pretty small. Which seemed to let me wedge right in between those points and that center pin. Let me get that screw out. Now they sell security bit sets. I don't need anything today from the Resourceful. You know where I'm talking about. So I'm not going to waste a trip over there just to get a set. Plus, some of you may be in a situation where you just can't run out and go get a set. So I'm trying to figure out some workarounds for you. And this little slot screwdriver seems to be doing the trick. Do you guys like to take apart old equipment like this? Tell me in the comments. Let me know the last thing you tore apart like this. What'd you do with it? What kind of parts did you get? How were you able to reuse them? I'm really curious to know what you guys were able to do with what other people simply decide to throw out. All right, our patient has been sent to the great beyond. Gave us a power cord, which is what's called a double insulated appliance, which means it doesn't have 3 prongs on the plug, it only has 2. We ended up with a motor that we need to test, a drive belt that fits with that, a 3-position power switch, this, which is called a limit switch, some LED lights, all items which will be going in the bins for reuse and repurpose later. And look what we ended up with here. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 118 screws that came out of that vacuum. If you choose to save these, you certainly can. It's where I got the vast majority of the fasteners that I ended up having. I'll probably hang on to these for the time being. And if I haven't found a productive purpose for them within the next, I don't know, month or so, they'll go in the bin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I tore apart that vacuum. Let me see what I ended up getting out of it. I got a limit switch. I got that motor, brushed DC motor. I got a 3-position power switch, some LED lights. All that stuff went in the bin. All of my parts bins, I keep random this and that gives me the ability to do things like I had to do with the garage today. I'm really curious to find out. I mean, what do you guys take apart? What do you guys save or cannibalize for the components that it offers you? Salvaging old parts is a judgment call. It really, and you gotta take a look at what it is that's in front of you and make a judgment as to whether or not it's going to yield useful item, if it's worth your time, and most importantly, if you got the space to store it. Because I promise you, there's a reason the hardware store is big. This was a little quick video this week. I hope you got something useful out of it. If If it helped you to get your garage door up and down, that'd be pretty cool. Let me know down in the comments. Again, I'm really trying to get this thing going. I hope I can get more eyes on it. And as I understand it, I've been researching like crazy, trying to figure out how this YouTube thing works. And apparently the more you guys comment, the more you guys put a like on it, the more you guys hit the subscribe button, that kind of thing, the more it decides that it's a good idea to shove my video to other people. But this isn't me trying to be like everybody else and, oh, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I don't, that's not what I'm about. If you can help me to get that algorithm to show other people this video and be able to get me to help more folks, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you feel like I'm worthy of it. Until next time, appreciate you guys. I'll try to put together something a little more fun next week. We'll have a good time. Take care, guys.